We just never. Well, you're a rock star, so
Oh,
we are live. Measha Bruggergosman,
Kiki Slack. Mm.
my girl. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kiki Convo Season 2, Episode 1. Are y'all ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. Are you ready, Measha?
I'm super ready. Like I feel like I was born ready, but I'm feeling extra ready.
Extra fabulous. We're gonna let some people come into the room. Hi, David Simon. Okay, he's a Kiki stan. He's a Kiki. He's a convo stan.
Okay, I like
And
it.
he was like, "You have to come back. Like you must come back."
Okay, what do I tell people who want to come to this conversation? Like,
Can you share it? You want to share it to? I need to share it to my page, but share it to your page.
Okay, so do I just take the StreamYard link?
No.
Okay, you have to send me. Girl,
okay, go to my page.
You need to text me.
Okay. Well, let me
tell your people to text me exactly the thing that I cut and paste. Dom on Facebook page.
Gal, we don't have people. Since I'm in Houston, my hot production guy is home in Philadelphia.
I love that. I love that you have a hot production guy. We can talk about my hot production guy. I have a hot production guy. I don't mind telling you.
Disposo. Yeah. And so he's home. And can you guys share this to Measha's page?
Yeah, like can somebody, Kenneth Overton, do you hear me? Could you just show me what I need to do to put it in the face bizzle and also make it like the link on it? And by the way, we will have to pause so that I do that on my phone because I'm that basic. Like I gotta tell you right now.
You are not basic. You are not basic. Oh my goodness. Let me see. I might be able to share it, or did somebody else share it? Hey everybody, listen.
Just put it in the thing. Like I know that there's a thing happening simultaneously. I think they call it the chat. But yes, somebody will put that in there, and then Kiki, my love, you just must text it to me, and then I'll put it.
Okay. Yes. Let me see.
Whoever does this, thank you so much.
Welcome everybody. I am so happy. I am so happy to have the Measha Bruggergosman, Queen Bee, the other Queen Bee, right? Of the universe. Thank you all. Welcome. Hey Frederick Matthews. Hey Ryan. Randall.
Oh my goodness, I have to tell my mom. Yes. Yes, but somebody has to tell me where I'm telling her to go. Wait, okay. I'm going to do this.
Okay, I just sent you the live. Listen, we are.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm doing it. Sorry, okay. Kiki. I know that it means that I'm
sorry.
I do because I know my mother.
We are back, y'all. We are back. I am so excited to be back. Yes, I love this show. I was doing a talk yesterday for some kids. Where did Measha go?
I'm coming. Okay.
Can you hear me? I was going to talk to some kids, and I was supposed to put in. I was supposed to show an episode of Kiki Combos, like a portion of the episode, and I went through all 28, and I said, "I'm sorry, I can't pick one. I can't pick one. I love them all." I love.
Well, who would you know? But if you know, gun to your head. I mean, come on, let's be real.
Gun to my head. Okay, the one where I was just Ricky Ian Gordon reading poetry. Hello, come on.
That's hot.
Morris, like keeping it 100% real on his amazing.
Okay, I love that.
Definitely like fantastic. I mean, just so inspiring. The composers panel, brilliant. I mean, it was just they're all just so fantastic. I think everybody's brilliant. Yeah. I love it. I mean, in their own way. Hey, Matt, how are you? Drop some of your favorites on here, guys. Brittany. Hey, Britt. Janae, of course, Russell and I, we did a 2-part. Kenny and I mean, just so many loves.
Do you have a YouTube link?
For this?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so this is Facebook, right?
Facebook. We're Facebook Live.
Okay,
I'm
I've
not
said it. I think I'm on it.
okay.
I think I've told people. Oh, wait, I want to make sure that I say it. Oh my God, I'm not on again. Sorry about that.
Hey
Um,
Michael. No. Hey Michael. Hi Sue. Good to see you. I'm gonna call you after this before the debate. Um
okay, I'm not starting a live. So, okay, this is the worst. I'm so the worst. I
no,
can't believe I can't figure out how to post this
okay.
on my own Facebook page. Can I just get a witness? I cannot believe this. This is
Hi
like,
Brittany Logan.
hi, Logan.
Yes. Hi. Okay, Measha.
Yes, I'm here. I can't. I can't even. I'm literally about to swear. You have no idea. You have no idea. Oh, Keeks.
Oh, that's
Oh,
okay.
Keeks. I
That's
gotta let it
all
go.
right.
I gotta lay that burden down.
Yeah, lay the
I
burden
gotta lay
down.
that
Lay
burden
the
down.
burden down. Lay the burden down. Okay, I have to introduce you.
Okay,
Ladies,
I'm listening. I'm
okay,
sorry.
ladies and gentlemen, my sister in song and in artistry and everything, Ms. Bruggergosman. What can I say? She's done all the things. She's sung in all the places, all over the world. International diva. She started her career committed to the song recital and the concert hall and expanded into being an author. Her recordings, my favorite, Dream, Night and Dreams, the Wesendonck Leader with the Cleveland Orchestra. Surprise! I love Surprise. I think I might have been one of the first to purchase that. But she sung with all the major conductors, just had this incredible career for so many years, singing Strauss and Brahms and Satie and Bolcom, gospel, to the gospel album, jazz. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud, and so honored to have my sister here with me to talk. Measha Bruggergosman. Yes, ma'am.
Well, whoever that is, let's drink to her because she's
Listen,
amazing. Oh my
cheers.
goodness! Wow. Oh.
Mm.
No, but honestly, Kiki.
You've done all the things, but I know I really well. Hello, everybody from Houston. As you can see, this is not my home. I am I am in a hotel in Houston because I am here to do the workshop recording staging of Joel Thompson's new opera, A Snowy Day, based on the children's book by Ezra Jack Keats. And so we premiere it next winter. And so we're here doing some COVID workshops. So anyway, that's all I need to say. Brugger,
That's fantastic. I
please.
just love that so much. I love that you call it a COVID workshop. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
No.
where are you here from? Where are you now, Measha?
Okay, currently I am in the shadow of my dear, dear sister Paula Arciniega's painting. She's begun a cloud series. And she is Art by Arciniega on like the Instagram. And she is also a recovering mezzo soprano. And I actually know her husband, Matt, because we went to university together. He was a trumpet major.
Yeah.
And little known Measha fact, I played trombone throughout junior high and high school. And I also played French horn in like high school. So I love the brass. I love the brass. And so Matt, who now is like a wonderful design contractor, and Paula, who's an artist and a recovering mezzo, they and I came together at a Kenneth Overton concert, his recital debut in Toronto. I was trying to interview Paula about her art for my podcast. And I was trying to connect with her, but it was looking like it wasn't gonna work out. And I was headed to my friend Kenneth Overton's recital debut in Toronto down in the distillery. And I sat down next to Paula. And Paula turned to me and she's like, "Oh, hi, Measha. I'm Paula." And I was like, "Paula Arciniega." Like I knew immediately who she was. And that's the artist of like this painting, this art in action kind of thing. And one of her paintings, like the only like the major work in my bedroom, my beautiful self-partnered single woman of God bedroom,
Yeah.
is Paula's piece of art, The Rite of Spring.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh, you best believe I am happy.
Yes. Are you? Yes. Someone happy. Well, before we get to that, but I'm gonna
Okay.
drink to that.
Okay. Let's drink to that.
We're drinking to happy and single. I mean, I'm booed up, but it's been,
I mean, single with my savior. You know what I mean? It's
got it.
like,
Listen,
you know.
that's what it's all about. So please tell the people how, like, where you're from and your background, because it's so beautiful. Your family, when you speak about your family and how you got into music.
Okay. Now, I am Canadian, like super duper Canadian. I was born and raised on the north side of Fredericton in Nashua, Texas. And like my family are Black loyalists. So we've been in Canada since the end of the 1700s. Of course, no Black people are here by choice. Like after a certain point, we all know that we're descended from slaves, but my descendants are Black loyalists. So
Wow.
for the American like listeners, that is the portion of the populace that escaped their slave owners in the mid 1700s to fight for the British in the war that would become your independence, but would be our emancipation, right? Because in
Right.
fighting for the British, we were granted emancipation, and that's how my ancestors came to Canada free, completely free. And I am written in the Book of Negroes, which is an amazing novel by Lawrence Hill, which is called The Book of Negroes. And my family's name is in the Book of Negroes. And I take great pride in the fact that I have been on Canadian soil for a very long time. And not by choice, but we have definitely come here free.
Yes.
And it's always complicated because it's by the very people, the very colonizers. Let's not be unreal here.
Right. Of course.
So it's never cut and dry. It's never cut and dry how any of us, and no one is entitled to anything, and yet there is still a necessity for an ongoing dialogue and humility. So, I mean, it's very, very interesting, but I love my family history. I'm in Toronto right now. Like what I didn't tell you is that I'm here with Opera Atelier, one of the few companies that forges on and keeping its artists employed in a performance capacity. Yes. Snap,
Shout out to Opera Atelier. Please, somebody tag them in this, please. Let them know we're giving them love.
We're giving them so much love. And Edwin Huizinga, for those of you who know what an Edwin Huizinga is, he is a violinist who is the composer who was commissioned for this like Baroque period music like company who has Tafel Music as its like pit orchestra, the Tafel Music Baroque, orchestra. Like they have commissioned a new work. Edwin Huizinga for me. And that's what we're kind of here doing. And like, you want to talk pivot on, effing pivot. Like, it has been insane. Like, I'm from Scotia. Like, I live in the eastern bubble provinces. We drove here. Like, I don't have to get on no plane. What are you kidding me? And I'm not scared. I'm just saying I love a road trip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, exactly. I do. I love a road trip too. My husband doesn't like to stop, but I'm like, stop, pull over. He's like, we got to keep going. But no. Anyway, tell us about your family, and about how music played a part in your early life.
Well, I mean, like my whole family is musical. I'm the only one who does it like full time. But they're all very like melodic and performy.
Yeah.
Like not like now. Like we weren't Swiss. Don't get up in your like Black people in their family rooms. It's not that. It was like we went to church. We loved Jesus.
Yes.
That involves singing. Make a joyful noise. And I was trained in that way. Like I was trained in like a classical way from my church because we were like in Fredericton. It was the north side of Fredericton. I wasn't like, you know, in a gospel choir. I was in les chœurs de Soulange et j'ai chanté des chansons acadiennes.
Ah, see?
You know, j'étais dans un choral absolument francophone. Like I was in a francophone choir. Like that's the tradition of my youth.
Right.
But yes, turns out I'm also Black. And
let's drink to that if you didn't already know.
I was like, oh my God, I can go to like basketball games and like shout. Yeah. And I was all of a sudden like singing a cappella spirituals. I was like thrilled about it.
Yes.
You know, I mean, can we, in all seriousness, I, in a way, would love to just name seriously famous Black opera singers. Like, obviously, we can name like Jesse Norman.
Of course.
But like sometimes people ask me, you know, like it's a rare thing. But I'm like, you only know Black opera singers. Like, you don't realize that you know Kathleen Battle, you know Jesse Norman, you know Leontine Bryce. I mean, you know Denise Graves. I mean, you know Marian Anderson, and Canadians know Portia White, and more Americans are knowing Portia White. But like, the fact of the matter is, save for Maria effing Callas, like you really only know Black, like James Jones Sutherland, but you have to know enough to know.
Yes.
But like, frankly, the average person knows more Black, and then poverty. We're not talking about tenors here. We're talking like opera singers you can name.
Exactly. Absolutely. Which is always a part of the conversation. People are like, oh wow, Black people sing opera, and I'm like, yes, we do. We actually do. I actually only know Black opera singers. I mean, you know,
the good ones.
But you know what I mean? It's such a community of us. And it's just like, yeah, a lot of us do. It's fascinating, right?
But also, I mean, we are always presented as like the anomaly, right? Until we galvanize. I mean, obviously we galvanize, and now like more than ever,
of course,
we're like having, you know, the conversations, and we're like really establishing like ourselves as a force.
Absolutely.
Because it's not a protest. We've just never really understood how cool we all are. You know, like really as individuals, like you can literally talk to people for like an hour.
Yeah.
And you're in the happy second season. I'm just saying.
All right. Shout out to all of the Black opera singers, honey, that are on here.
Right. And we name them. Like if people just put them in the chat, like name all the Black opera singers you can possibly think of. It is astonishing to me. And they should double. Right? People should not feel like you have to be original. You can name Leontine several times. Ken, I'm looking at you. If you want to put Leontine, like you'd be like Leontine times infinity, I hear you. Yeah. That would be what I'd be like, cap that. Now, can I get a story from you? Like the first time, you know, one of our icons, like, because I never get to hear that from other people.
Oh, an icon.
Like your first time with live, I mean, or even just like an anecdote. I don't want to limit you.
No, well, the first opera singer I ever saw live was Denise Graves singing Carmen. It was the season probably before she was going to the Met. She was very young because I was 16, so she was very young. It was early in her career in Philadelphia. And the first time I met Jesse Norman, I wanted to the first time I met Jesse Norman, I wanted to fall over because she was singing at the Academy of Music in Philadelphia. And I was able to go backstage and speak to her. And she was the first opera singer I had heard live. And she was like looked right into my eyes. She looked right into my eyes and was like, so what do you want to sing? And what do you want to do? And I was just like, you know, I want to be you. I want to be you. And so, yeah, I mean, that was kind of cool. I don't know.
I need to validate your experience. Not that you need my approval. It's not about that. I just need you to know that when she, who is known as Jessie, came through the double doors of Roy Thompson Hall after she sang an all-French program with the Toronto Symphony, I was privileged enough to be backstage, and I was with my friend Scott Balluz, who at the time was my cohort in the like Mary Morrison vocal studio. We're still like, you know, we're all Mary Morrison students, whether we know it or not. But like Scott, at that point, was a baritone. He would become a countertenor. But I tell you right now, when the woman who we know as Jessie exited those, she came through the doors, and after having sung an all French program, it was like the doors breathed open for her, obviously. Like somebody had pressed the like wheelchair button, right? Yeah. Like they opened. But like honestly, for me, my like second year, third year undergrad self was like, I was just reduced to tears. Like I just stood there and like I was like, and tears just started rolling. Like she just started, and but the thing is that I almost perceived of her as being there before she was actually there. Yeah. Like she came through the doors, and I was like, is that La Jessie? And then she's like, and she came through, and she literally said, I'm not joking. She came through those doors that opened on their own, and she said, after her French program, bonsoir. Take it in. Take it in.
Yeah.
So then when I start crying, because she literally made the most perfect entrance that any person, place, or thing could possibly make. And I'm crying, and my friend Scott is like, we gotta get it together. She's not gonna talk to us. He literally, like as I remember it, because you know it could be just like I'm embellishing, but as I remember it, I was crying, and he was like, "Get it together. She's not going to talk to us." Yeah. And I blacked out after that. Like I honestly don't remember what happened. I think it was something like affirming. But do you know what I mean, Kiki? It's like, you know exactly what I mean.
I do. I mean, it's like meeting your idols when you listen to them on CD or Laserdisc. You watch them as we did, and record, and then you get to finally meet them in person. And like, I mean, you are like single-handedly, in my opinion, you know, kind of like the heir to that. With the kind of career that you've been able to have and been able to craft for yourself, you know, and it's like Jessie and Measha. It really is that kind of like, you know, and your level of artistry and all of those things. So, I mean, did you work with Miss Norman at all?
Oh, come on now. You know, there was that summer. There was that summer of who even knows what the year was. I mean, there is this thing called the Rolex Mentor Protege Program, which is kind of like a secret evil enclave of like super rich people just like pairing a bunch of people up, right? Like it's like delightful and sort of great for Rolex, and like it is incredible. So with inexhaustible funds, they herald excellence and nurture the next generation, right? Like it's a win-win. So in this paradigm, I am presented as a potential candidate, as, let's face it, a protege. Although someday I hope to be a mentor. Like, yeah, gotta get that in there.
Yeah.
And so, but the thing is, like, I wasn't the one chosen, but I was considered. And then Miss Norman was like, I would like to teach them all in the south of France. So there were like, let's say, not very many. And we all were taken to be with Miss Norman for 2 weeks in the south of France. And that was my time with her. That was my time with her. Like, it was unfettered. It was really, there was no, like, there was no limit. Like, I mean, it was formalized for sure. There was a schedule, but it was rare air. I knew it was rare air.
Right.
I mean, I coached 4 last songs, every last stitch. I mean, every last stitch. And she made me sing that.
Yeah.
I won't even tell you how many times.
Really? Over.
She was not interested in my stamina. She was not interested in my questions. She was like, again. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
That's work. That's work.
That's work. Oh, please tell the children because I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. But the work. Yeah, the work over and over and over again.
Starting on high, like, and pick up too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Starting with no regard for, and like, just no, this is work wherever we're working. And I'm like, yes, like, and I am precious. Don't get me wrong. Like, I wasn't like about, like, I was like, ugh, but it is kind of like I knew what I had. Like, I knew
Right.
what I had. I was never thinking maybe you should, or, and I was like, no, I made steel for the nerves,
Yes.
steel. Because
Yes,
you know,
I do.
I've never been ungrateful.
Mhm.
One thing I've never been is ungrateful. Now, prideful, sure.
Mhm.
Like, yes, but not ungrateful. You
Mhm.
know, like, I can't say I have like the humblest of spirits, but I certainly am not thinking that any of this is owed to me. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Right. I mean, you have been able to have the career, recordings on Deutsche Grammophon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
You
No, I
know,
love it.
the
Yeah.
debuts, recording all of the incredible repertoire that you've been able to do. And speak about that. Speak about the what you need. What happened? Like, how did that happen? Because I
Well, I'll tell
remember.
you.
Go ahead.
I mean, thank you for asking that question, because it is for singers to know that it wasn't like magic. Like, I went to a summer program. Like, I auditioned and got into the Staines Institute at Ravinia. So if you're ever wondering if your summers are for breaks, I don't care what season we're in. You better keep the languages up. You better keep the IPA up. You better
Mhm.
keep the rule, like all the audition repertoire. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was like, I was always ready. And my
Mhm.
foray, like, into, like, it might come as a surprise to some to know how competitive I am. I mean, I'm sure I don't give off that vibe at all. But
No, not
I
at all.
am, you know, I believe in it. I mean, I love a good time. I mean,
Mhm.
cakes. We get some good times coming. Okay.
Mhm.
But like, when it's time to work, I mean, I'm not fooling around. Like, I'm not,
Mhm.
I'm not, you know,
The
but
commitment, right? The
because
commitment.
we're made for such a time as this. Like, they
Yeah.
have to be able to call and know it's gonna happen. They can't doubt. Like, the audience is there. It's like, no, I got this, people. You need to take a load off and just let Measha. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? Like, just,
Exactly. I
like,
sure
I
do.
got this. And then they're like, I'll never forget. And I was like, that's what I was hoping for. Like, I know that we are, and I'm just going to preach a little bit about how essential the artist is in this period.
Mhm.
Because as people seek to, like, people are seeking to literally rebuild their lives, let alone, like, their sense of self-worth. Like, you think a concert's not going to help with that? You think, like, allowing them to come and, like, literally lay their burden down while you sing to them,
Mhm.
sing to them. That's essential. They're gonna, they're literally going to heal as a result of the sound of your voice, your instrument, your calling, your artistic outpouring. Like, we are essential in this space. Right? So
Yeah.
don't think, my book, my EP. Like, we need it now more than ever. People need now. Don't go putting noise into the noise. I'm not interested.
In every.
Right? Like, the playing field is level for a reason. We will weed you out. Like, I am not interested, in anything but people in pain telling their truth and sharing. I started this, this incredible project with this hip hop artist. I can't even believe.
I saw that.
Oh, girl, he white, like, all white,
Oh,
but he's
wow.
blacker than me. Let me tell you, for real. Like, he's from, like, Beaverbank in Nova Scotia, and he doesn't even call it Nova. He just says Scotia. Like, he's so in it. I can't, like, I'm from New Brunswick. I can't even say Brunswick.
So, I mean, this is the thing. And I remember you were having a conversation about on Black Opera Live, Black Opera.
Oh, hey, Black Opera.
Yes. And
Totally.
you were talking about how you had done all the things and sung all the stuff, and you still felt like you weren't fulfilled.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you pray for wisdom and then you get it. And you're
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, oh, so there's more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that it was less what I had. I like I said, like the gratitude is real. Like I live in it, I wake up in it. I try and be constantly joyful. But it's like, oh, okay, so I'm not supposed to live here. I'm not supposed to be satisfied here. I need to bring more people along. I need to nurture and foster and mentor and support. Like I need to be speaking. You know, people need to know that they're not alone. And I need to write, you know, books. And, you know, like I just kind of felt called to more things.
Right.
Right? Like I just wasn't thinking that anybody who lives a life stem to stern a la opera, like
Mm-hmm.
let the people speak, like that is for reals, like that's a solid service. I just was like, hey yo, turns out I'm Black, and I have more of a calling on like this back end of my life. Kenneth Overton.
Yeah. Keep talking about your calling. Keep talking about
So
it.
the calling is this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do understand that to have had 2 emergency open heart surgeries
Mm-hmm.
is not something that most people can say, and because mostly they'd be dead, so they'd be saying it in glory to their maker.
Yes.
So I'm saying that for my part,
Mm-hmm.
there is such a lack of fear because I know that God is sovereign. I know that He will give you the amount of breaths, and that He will is constantly renewing my mind and my spirit. And I do feel absolutely plagued by so many things, and I make mistakes, and I'm like wondering who the crazy lady is yelling at my kids, and it turns out it's me. You know, all of those things happen, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like there's um a grace that I am benefiting from almost on a second by second basis,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I'm just very like absolutely uncertain of how things are going to go, but I've never been more assured of
Mm-hmm.
how well things are going to turn out.
Yes. Listen, when I read exactly how they're going to turn out, when I read about your first surgery, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't know how sick you were, you know? I didn't know. And then there was another one. And so please tell me what that was like leading up to the first, how were you feeling the first time and why, why did it happen twice,
Why
lady?
did it happen twice? Okay. Um, well, this is the thing. You know, I come from generational heart disease. You know, I mean, my father has also gone to glory
Mhm,
and is a fellow survivor, you know, in a open heart surgery way.
mhm,
But like, so I had that kind of a generational stronghold over my health.
mhm,
And, you know, when you consider the things that are being broken in our society, the hatreds that are coming to light that we're eradicating, the strides we're making in terms of like accessibility and awareness. And
mhm.
sure, we're wasting, sure, we're doing things that are, yes, killing us softly, but the fact of the matter is we've never been smarter than we are right now.
Mhm.
Now, I feel as though there are real blessings happening in real time.
Right.
And one of those blessings is like, you know, just like cardiac health, just like how much we know about cancer, just like being able to believe that the miracle of human ingenuity leads to me being able to have 2 emergency open heart surgeries in one lifetime.
Yeah.
And I do attribute that to God's goodness. And I just feel like if we pause for Aaron Wall just for just a minute, because I know that it doesn't always go how it went for me. And we're like the same age. And I'm not going to say that I knew the woman. I'm not going to sit up here and testify because people knew her, knew her, knew her. So I just want to say, you know, for her family and fans and friends and anybody who falls under the sound of one of her recordings, like one thing I do know is that that woman was blessed.
Yes.
She was anointed, that was some good, easy, joy-filled singing.
Yes, certainly.
That much you could hear. I mean, but I won't say anything beyond that because I don't know. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to, you know, have a minute.
Yeah, no. I didn't know her well, but I did get a chance to meet her when I was singing in Vancouver. She came backstage. But that death, her passing affected me deeply because I lost my mother when I was 18, 19 to breast cancer. And I always have a place in my spirit for people for those mothers who have to leave their children and for those children who lose their mother. Because I know, and it affected me very, very deeply in a place, and I appreciate you mentioning her because she is our sister.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and
Like honestly.
our sister in Mozart, all the things that those of us who have a certain kind of voice, you know, she's in our crew, you
We
know.
will hold that torch high.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, but so you had the second surgery, and what was that like for your career? Because so often, and you're still married at this time.
Ooh,
Talk about
well,
that because you know that's important as well. But I want you to.
what's great about being a double emergency open heart surgery survivor is that you can really see the kind of tradition and Christian, because you have to also understand the sovereignty of God, because like it's not that he didn't know that this would happen. You know, it's not that I'm not held in the arms of my Savior even as I'm going through things that I don't understand. Like it's not like I ever have to doubt that he has a plan for my life, right? So I'm like totally understanding that this is like like I woke up that morning in Calgary, the morning that my father was dying on the other side of the country. But I woke up and I thought, ooh, something is not right. But you know, you think as somebody who doesn't want to inconvenience people, as the perfect house guest, which I am, I really did not want, because I was staying with beautiful friends, my friends Larry and Jan, who I love so dearly. But it was like I had put a bow on it. I was going home to see my babies. I was gonna be there in time for like their like winter showcase. That was Mother of the Year. You know, I was like, oh, but then I was like, something, and no bueno. Like I was like, But then I had to weigh how much I was willing to inconvenience people. Like I
While
was,
you're suffering.
no, I mean, I really was like, oof, I just want to go. Like, how dead would I be? Like, I'm like, Father God, how dead is this? Like, is this like a dead type situation? Like, come on right now. Because I have to tell you, like, sometimes I have dead like situations, and God says, no, because I want it, you know, He knows I like to know. And I'm like, and I mean, it's an idea. It's an assurance. I don't want people thinking that I hear voices. It's like, it's because I am in lockstep with my Lord and Savior. And I do believe that he has a plan for my life. And so I just am like, okay, so if it's time for me to take action. And so, I mean, it was like, I just went downstairs and I said to the 2 white men in the kitchen, nobody panic, but I need to go to the hospital and I will be down in the car. And I said to I'm going to tell, and he's going to hate it that I said this, but I'm going to say that I said to Larry, my dear, beautiful Larry, I said, and we're taking the Bentley. Because in my head, I was like, if this is the last car drive I do, it's going to be in the effing Bentley. Like, I am not joking. Like, I am no. And if you have to rotate the garage to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. If I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go high.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, none of this BMW, a bull. I want zibba.
And God said, I'm gonna put you in there, but I got another plan for you. I'm not ready. I'm not done with you yet.
And I honestly, when I was counting, so they found we get there and they do the thing and they do all the stuff. And like, I meet Dr. Theresa Keiser, who is the surgeon who would be tasked with replacing my bypasses with arteries, not veins. And she's a believer and we're praying and it's amazing. And, and it's a whole beautiful, and my babies eventually come because I'm like, okay, well, they told me I'm going to have open heart surgery. And I immediately wanted my son. Up until that point, I was like, okay, well, when But the minute they gave me my diagnosis, I was like, well, death is imminent, and I would like to see my children. And I knew I wasn't going to die, but I certainly wasn't going to take the risk of not seeing my children.
Right.
And and you know what? I mean, their dad, I mean, like, who, by the way, I rarely look back, but when I looked back and saw that May 9th, and we were at June, like, let's say June 13th, I had my heart attack. But May 9th, I had signed, at May 9th at 20 years in a day, we had signed our divorce papers. And like a month and a little bit later, I had a heart attack and my father died on the same day. And it was nothing for him to bring those children to me. It was nothing. He honestly practically offered it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just so not even a question of whether, because he had seen me through my dissected aorta, like the 2009 open heart surgery.
Right. Of course. Oh, wow.
Right.
Right.
And in the same way that he took over management from my parents and understands this industry, in this season, I could not have asked for a better co-parent, right? Because I'm not making any money, okay? But that our divorce happened on terms that were based on tax years where I made money.
Right. Wow.
Right? So you need for God to give you an understanding, godly man after the hump of divorce who will still protect you. Right? And your children. And your children.
And your children.
So like all those Christian couples out there who like are not surviving COVID, please do not think that God's grace has left you. It's larger and more abundant than ever. I'm here to tell you, I have been there. I am there. We will be there together. Like, I just think that there's real opportunity in this season for people to understand, like, they're just poised for a miracle. Oh, somebody text that Measha needs more wine.
Listen, if God hasn't showed me in this season, that I just need to just fall back and do the things that I need to do, like control and do the things so that I can let him. Girl. girl.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
yeah.
it's been a season of that. Like, and I know that we're not the only ones, obviously.
No,
So it's like a question of making sure that whoever needs to hear that hears that.
absolutely. And you know, and no one ever talks about, well, I should say no one, because I hate when people say, no one ever does this. No, people do, you know, no one ever said this, you know, but to talk about, you know, the career and the children and the marriages, you know, I was on a talk with yesterday actually was with the students from Curtis Institute of Music where I went to school, and I was talking to them. I said, well, I married my best friend, but I was going to marry another guy, and he didn't want to marry me because because I had this career. He's like, I don't want to marry your career. I'm not interested. And I was like, but thank God he blessed me, because that would have been a mess. But
That would have been a hard mess.
yeah, yeah,
He's
exactly.
going to send you a co-pilot to your mission. He's not
Certainly
going to send you an albatross.
not at all.
You know, I mean, he's going to send you, you know, an anchor that
Hmm.
isn't too heavy.
Absolutely.
You
Oof.
know, like you're not, you know, a good woman. I'm just saying, she is hard to find. So for all you singles out there, don't stay stationary. You have to be on the move for him to catch you.
Yes.
Don't you dare wait around. Start doing God's work for him, giving it away for free. Don't do it.
Mm. Listen, that's the after hours, girl.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, the people.
Listen, girl, if I could go back in time, but we're not going to talk about that. We are not going to talk about
Let
that.
the people say.
Amen. That's the girls only chat, honey. Where we teach our sisters, our young sisters stuff.
We'll do
No,
it. We'll do it. We'll do it. I see it. I see it. I see it.
that's oh my gosh. Talk to me about motherhood and
Oh
how
God.
that works in your career as well, you know? Because
Well, you know,
that.
I think right now, like if I'm being honest, right now, I mean, I do feel a bit like called, like really, like to a more maybe stabilizing place, only because they're getting to a place where they're going to get good and cooked. And I'm not going to have much to say, right? Because they're 5 and 8. And like
Oh.
the 8-year-old still trusts me. He's still very much about me, you know, but I could lose him. You know, I could lose him. So it's like important that, you know, I'm around so that he trusts, you know, the presence, right? Because it's like, or, you know, your relationship with anything, it is predicated a lot on presence, right? So I think about that, and I pray on that, because I don't think about it in terms of needing to prioritize beyond my means. Like I
Mhm.
think that what I love so much about COVID in this season is that it's really forced us to like only fill our time with what we want to fill our time with.
Mhm.
Now, all that we had committed to, of course, is gone, but that didn't necessarily mean that we wanted to fill our time with that. It was just what we
Right.
committed to. And now that people have options, even though it feels to some people like limitations, if you can pivot and see that they're actually options,
Mhm.
you would see that, you know, you're not having to do anything, that instead you get to do
Mhm.
everything. And
Yeah.
so for me, I was like, okay, well, I get to raise my sons.
Mhm.
And dear God, let me enjoy that, because I have the fears of not being enough. I have the fears of not being able to fill the day. I have the fears of not being able to entertain. And I think I'm not enough, or I don't have the skills to teach them reading, and will they be, you know, this or that. Like I have all of those concerns, because like they were literally grown inside of my body. So
Mhm.
how could I not
Right.
want them to be better than me?
Mhm.
I just have a faith that is rooted in something greater than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just see this season as me taking stock of what has been, provided for me. It's tasked to me, what I am sovereign over. So what remains, okay, as the singing goes away, is, you know, my house that I have to pay for, my car that I have to keep running, my sons that I have to raise and feed, and how do I go about doing that? And then it turns out that's a calling in and of itself. Those are several callings in one,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So even if you never went back, which I'm not called to not go back, I'm just saying, like, for those of us who wonder if it's a compromise, it's not. Don't think that you're less because you don't go back on the circuit of nothingness
Mm.
around people who don't know you or care about you nearly as much as your family. Like, don't feel like you have to get back on the merry-go-round of somebody else telling you your worth and establishing your schedule. Like, that's not what you need to do. Like, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Literally whatever you want. You obviously you can live with nothing.
Right.
Obviously. You know. So your security comes from a deeper place. It can't come from singing because that was taken away.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to lean on?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want, like, because for me, I'm like, I know I'm probably called to teach my sons the rudiments of piano. And it's probably the last thing I want to do because I feel very insecure as a teacher because I get impatient very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I obviously am called to that because that's the skill I need most.
Mm-hmm.
So I can either fight that by busying myself and filling my time with projects that won't help the next generation, or I can just forget about myself, realize that my life isn't about me, and teach my sons
Mm-hmm.
piano already.
Amen. Yeah.
Right? So if you think of things in those terms, everything you do is a success.
Absolutely.
You know, in the house, out of the house, it's all in service.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, being of service, that's been a big, every time I have been asked about this quick Kiki conversations and all of the things that I do, it's always linked to being in service of other people, you know?
You know that I'm just about to go, like, just excuse the screen just 1 second.
Go for
But
it.
keep talking, I'm listening.
Yes, no, being of service to other people. And it's just an extension of the singing. I guess those of us who come through the system and you don't think about, oh, you just do the thing, right? You just practice, you get better, you sing, you do the thing, and never thinking of being of service to other people. And that's what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
no, it is. And this is the thing, we're kind of taught that we're meant to get to the top of the pyramid, right? We're taught that we're meant to, like the competition.
Mm-hmm.
The competition of, which obviously, like, creates this paradigm of, just 1 second, I'm coming back to you.
No, go ahead. You got it.
There we go. Okay. Which obviously creates this paradigm of us against them, right? So your colleagues aren't actually your comrades, they're your adversaries against whom you are competing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we obviously don't necessarily do that. Now, we don't act that out. We build bridges, we, tear those walls down. Like, it happens in casts all the time, but it is a thing
Mm-hmm.
that it is something that has to be, kind of decided upon. And it usually, top down. Most famous person, you just, and that's the person who enables the behavior of the whole cast,
Right.
right?
Right.
So you have to be responsible, right? When you come into a place,
Mm-hmm.
know that your attitude changes everything,
Yeah. Oh, yes.
right? Everything. And
Every.
people who think less of themselves, who think little of themselves, don't know that and come into a place thinking that nobody knows how they feel when they're, like, trumpeting it to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have both an understanding of where they must be coming from and how much they must be hurting, but you're also wishing that you could just, like, effing get it together and do your job like the rest of us. But Grace, like, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because I have been that person. Like I have been the person who has changed the atmosphere for the worse. Right. So I need to know that that's the power I possess.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wow.
so, you know,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and I just, again, she's the crazy lady who's screaming at her kids, and I don't know who's doing it. Like, I catch myself in the mirror and I'm like, it's you. It's you who's screaming. And then I hear my own mouth on my son. That's nothing. Nobody's going to read you like your children. Or
no.
Jesus. I mean, Jesus, nobody can read you like Jesus, but like your children are a close second.
That's what a lot of parents say. Listen, I have cats. I always have cats. I'm not a mom. I'm motherly.
You're her mama.
I'm motherly. My spirit is motherly. My spirit is, but she is not. She is not. Now that my husband, we were like, no, get away. No.
I'm not like I have a cat. His name is Neener, but I wouldn't consider myself a pet owner. Like we live out in the country and Neener has a function.
Okay.
And that is to kill everything that is not us.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, when I think about you, well, first of all, I have to say, please tell our audience about, you just went back to work, right? But before you went back to work, please tell the people what you did.
Oh, you mean while I was like
in this time
living my life in the COVID way?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, the COVID space has been amazing. And I think of it as a like no holds barred, absolute like cowboy territory of awesomeness. Because never have we been able to do everything and anything we wanted. Like, especially as performing artists, because, you know, the system, GNT is perfect. Sorry. The system, you know, and the system like was super important, right? Let's not discount how we all got to the stature we're at. Okay. People have to be paying us and people have to be rendering us exclusive and people have to be, you know, creating a certain hierarchy of giggery. Otherwise, we have nothing to aspire to. We humans love to create a construct that demonizes the lower and uplifts the rich. Okay, so fine. We're part of that construct. And yes, I might be atop that pyramid, but it turns out that when you have that kind of a career built, when you come to a no man's land, none of that matters. Because anyone can reach anyone at any time. Yeah. Now, if you're anyone at any time involves Measha Bruggergosman, then you're maybe a little bit further along. But I've loved the neutrality of the space. Like I've loved, I mean, how incredibly neutralizing it's been, because there were voices that were being heard before that we didn't need to hear more from. And by the same token, there are voices that were like silent that now are just like, and then ones we didn't have access to, right? So it's incredible. Oh, what was that? Okay, we have to wrap it up because, why, hello, Matthew.
Good evening.
This is my 8 p.m. cocktail.
I love it.
Now, people are going to watch the debate, so I do not want to hold them up. Because you know what you're going to want to do after the debate? This
exactly. I don't know. We might be during the debates. People having drinking games, but no, we got time. I think it starts at 9, doesn't it?
No, I gotta go. I gotta go do a recording.
Oh my gosh! Let's tell the people about your recording. First of all, I want to tell the people that this woman had hip surgery, and then
wait. I gotta show you something. Here's my hip surgery. Okay, this is the hip right here. I'll do a little demo. Just
look
over
at
here.
you.
Ready?
Look at you. Hobbling.
That was my dance. That was my dance.
Hobbling and dancing.
I didn't even spill the drink.
Pro. You're pro.
No, yeah. So what I'm doing, so I had hip surgery and I have to tell you, I'm going to shout out the Platypus Clinic, Matthias Nieppel, Dr. Matthias Nieppel at the Platypus Clinic in all places, Windsor, Nova Scotia. And I'll tell you,
there you go.
I was there every single day after the first week, like 1 week after surgery, I was there. And then, I was there before to strengthen the muscles. And then God promised me a quick recovery, but quick recovery doesn't mean you sit around and do nothing.
No.
It just means you put in the work and you just have faith that it's going to like be what, it can possibly be, like the best case scenario. And I really did get the best case scenario. And now I'm here in Toronto working with Opera Atelier. Now, Opera Atelier is a Toronto opera company that has gotten all of their funding and chosen to spend it on their artists.
Ah, ding, 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 ding. Look at that.
So here we are forging through constant shifting sands, but we're here, we're employed, we're creating, we're definitely adjusting. Like I have a recording tonight, little Purcell.
Okay, get the.
You know what's great for straight tone is gin and tonics.
Oh.
I just want to give a voice lesson here for all the experts out there.
And you don't even have to pay 100.
The countertenors love a gin and tonic.
There you go.
So I'm just taking a page.
Well, I don't want to hold you up because I know you have to go, but please give us a lasting word.
Okay.
Because everybody's got to get ready for their drinking game at home.
Yeah, the drinking game. People get ready for the drinking game. Because you know what? What you have right now is alcohol. I'm just kidding. No, I'm telling you right now, I can't fully express how excited I am about this season. Like, I think we are in a place that allows for such, and I don't want to say possibility because I don't want to sound pat, but I mean like expansion of the inner self, because please don't get distracted by what's happening outside of your actual soul. Please do not think that the solution is going to come from without when we all know it's only going to come from within. And I think that the more you embrace the time that you have with yourself, and trust me, you can't lock down the soul. It's impossible. The soul will find a way. But if you believe that your body is somehow a reflection of your soul, you'll never be free. If you somehow think your bank account is a reflection of your soul, you'll never be free. If you somehow think your employment, your relationship, your career is somehow a reflection of yours, you'll never be free. The minute you start to focus in on the soul of yourself and how that radiates and reflects the people and serves the people around you, that's the only time you'll be free. So that's my word.
That's the only time. That's beautiful. Measha, we have to do our after hours.
Oh, we're going to do our after hours. Oh, yeah, like a real after hours.
We're going to do our after hours. We're going to do our part 2. Thank you so much.
Can I just raise a glass to my virtuous ladies? Can I raise a glass to my sisters in purity? Can I raise it?
Raise the glass. Raise the glass, honey. Raise the glass.
Raising the glass.
So thank you so much for sharing
your
time. I love you. I love you. And I just want to tell everybody, thank you for coming. So what, next week? I got a banger for you next week. Another one. So stay tuned. All right.
And also after hours.
And also after hours. So yes, for sure. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
I love you. You're doing it. You do all the stuff, right? Like
I'm doing all the stuff.
Okay. I love you.
Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the debates. I'll see you guys on the debate, Facebook, of course. Bye.